Welcome back to our Star Wars Outlaw coverage. This is my hands-on preview series. Part one just gave you an overall feel for a lot of things, took you through one of the missions, and today we're going to dive deep into the factions and somewhat of the story because they're tied together in a special way, and I'm very excited to talk about it. Star Wars Outlaws is an open world game that I got the privilege to get my hands on because I'm partnered with Ubisoft. So thank you to them for letting me get the remote hands on. I did play on keyboard and mouse, so I'm not really a keyboard and mouse player, guys. I mainly only play on controller 99% of the time. So my gameplay is going to be a little off, but I promise when the game releases and I got a controller in my hand, you're gonna see greatness. Should be some fun stuff. I have a lot of footage to cover. By the way, I do have a giveaway for the community in the comments, so make sure you check that out. Uh, Without further ado, let's dive right into some of the gameplay and discuss some of the things that's super interesting. So the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that these factions are so insane because the mechanics are so built into the story and they're built in to the gameplay that really is not something that I don't think Ubisoft talked about enough and kind of stressed to the point. I can't show you guys what I'm about to say because I'm definitely going to get myself, partnerships crushed if I did that. But basically, you have amazing rewards from each of these factions that tie into building relationships with them. So there's basically five different statuses. There's terrible, bad, poor, good, and excellent. All right. And that's the relationships that you can build with the different factions. There's currently, from what I've seen in my personal playthrough, we've seen the main faction, the Hut. We've seen a Ashika. It's a new clan, by the way. We've seen the one and the only Crimson Dawns, which is super cool as well, by the way, and the Pike. And all of them, and I'm going to go through some of this information with you guys to kind of help you along the way. All of them have specific perks, like, for example, gear. Each piece of gear has multiple things, like reducing your damage taken when the Ashika clan has things like that, boosting your adrenaline when your health is low. They have that type of effect on you, increasing your health and restoring health when you do a takedown. These are the type of things that you're going to get from each faction, which is super important to kind of take into account because your storyline will make you betray one or the other, frame someone. You're entering a base of somebody you're very cool with, but you're stealing from them. So if you don't do it stealthily, you're going to break your relationship and hinder it into a certain extent. This is all business related. It's not like it's friendships. It's basically criminals working with each other to do different things. But it does play a big role because, for example, I'm in the Pike District right now. In this video, I'm infiltrating. I shouldn't get spotted, which I end up getting spotted, by the way. I'm not good at this unlocking with the remote play. Uh, I just was not no good. Had a hard time for myself. This is a different conversation to get into. We'll skip ahead of that. But the principle here is I'm doing things that I shouldn't be doing. That's basically illegal, and I can hurt my own relationship. If I get away without getting spotted, that's one thing, but you're not always going to do that. Sometimes story wise, and then also gameplay wise, if you're not good enough to do so. And so that's very critical to understand that these rewards are super important to your play style because the gear you have that I've seen, things like helping your blaster, things like helping your accuracy. There's a list, of being able to have less damage from projectiles and blasters and things like that. So many great boosts to your playstyle that you're gonna want to put this on. So for me personally, my favorite was Crimson Dawn. They had things like increase your movement speed, while you're crouching and you're silent, more silent. Your adrenaline is gained when you sneaking nearby enemy hostile patrolling. There's things like that that they did. Stealth takedowns give you health. For me, Crimson Dawn is gonna be the first relationship I build. I think their outfits look awesome for the rewards and these perks that I told you, increasing your ability to avoid detection. These are things that are 100% in the reward system. I'm thinking this is what the final game will be. I can't really say yes or no. I'm hoping that all of those rewards I'm talking about are there for each of the clans. And it's very amazing to me to be able to get that excited for this type of stuff. And I cannot wait. And so we're going to skip ahead and show you guys a couple of different things like me roaming, purposely bumping into some people. I actually really love the speeder, is very awesome. But the point is, in this open world, I'm gonna deal with the factions. If they see me and I'm in bad relationship with them, they're gonna shoot at me. And if I'm in good relationships, of course, but I'll bump into them in the open world and help them out on a side mission, which will help my relationship with them as well. And that is where this whole underworld really comes together and gives you a better experience when it comes to how this all functions. So the question here is, what are you going to do? How are you going to play? Are you interested in that play style? For me, for example, I'm bumping into these enemies, random person, just a civilian. I know I probably shouldn't, guys, but I wanted to see how they would react. And the civilians aren't really too aggressive. It's the factions or the Empire. I did get chased in one of the clips that was pretty interesting and fun. But these are the type of things that you want to think about and that you want to try for yourself, of course, when the time comes to see what you're into. Personally, I love it. And now I'm going to go down the rabbit hole and we're going to let you guys see some of this here uh, as well while I discuss more of what I was feeling with these factions. So in the story, there's a very deep narrative, very, very smart and well crafted system where, as I told you in one mission, I had to frame one or the other faction. And, you know, you're betraying people, and all of that plays a role in the end game as far as how are you going to handle it. And so for me, that was so awesome and it felt so good to officially see that and know like, oh, okay, this is what is going to happen. This is how this is going to play out. And it made me excited to know that they're not just settling and creating a more structured system for you as a player overall where you can get lost into each faction in their own way. And so I don't know, one thing that I'm questioning in the community, maybe there's already information about this. I'm not the only person who had hands on, but a question I had was, hey, can I build good relationships with everybody all together? Because I would be happy to do so. And so that was a big question and a concern, but I can tell that I can at least get two of them pretty high up pretty easily um from the gameplay we saw. Again, remember this is early access and can't take everything as is. There's plenty of different things that might be happening that we don't know about. But that's what I love. And we're going to go ahead and jump into a little bit of a quick teaser to one of my videos. I was testing the stealthy nature of the game and just going loud during a mission where you're not supposed to get detected. You're dealing with the Empire. It is the real deal here. And you're not supposed to raise the alarm. And I kind of purposely raise the alarm a lot of times just to see how the enemies react, how long do they take. And I have a video that I'm going to be breaking some of that down a little later. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because the Empire specifically, they're not a faction in that sense. They're more like the police. But the story is so big when it comes to the Empire. You know about all the Sith, you know about how they ruled and they were the most powerful at that time. So curious about what we feel or think when it comes to them playing a role, maybe partnering up with some of these factions in different ways, as we know that tends to happen, and there's always something bigger at play, and it could be interesting. So let me know what you guys feel about that. Now, that's pretty much it for today. I don't want to hold you. That is some conversations about the factions. So you know that there's rewards. You know that you have to work to build a relationship, but some missions might pull you back and break your relationship a little bit. You have to bring that back up. I am gonna have guides and videos once I get my full, hands on this thing and really dive deep. As long as I get early access, I got you guys when I'm allowed to dive deeper. But other than that, I want to get into things like the open world, want to get into stealth and things of that nature, which a video should be popping up right now, giving you guys a quick look into that. And also go down to the comments, get into those giveaways. I want to say thank you to y'all with those giveaways. Appreciate y'all. Y'all stay safe, stay blessed. Peace.